Hey YouTube, it's Black, and I'm coming out with you with something I haven't done in a long time. And it's a dirt cheap deck profile for anybody who's looking just for a fun deck to mess around with and have the expendable income or just want to screw around with this build. And it is for my 2013 version of my Amazonas deck. Instead of being pure Amazonas, it's more Synchro and XYZ variant. It does pretty well on its own. I have played against a couple people and it stood on its own ground. I was playing against my friend who was playing Madolches, and it put him into a bad situation a lot of the time. Even though I still lost, it still held its own. So I'm going to run through this deck real quick and explain some of the combos and why things are in here and show you how much this deck actually costs, because in reality it's dirt ass cheap. And that was me really pushing rarities. But to get started, for the monster lineup we have a Thrasher, triple Paladin, one Rose Warrior of Revenge, triple Amazonas Swordwoman, one Chainmaster, one Amazonas Fighter, double Amazonas Trainee, triple Giant Rat, two Goblinbergs, one Amazonas Tiger, one Amazonas Blowpiper, and TG Striker. For spells, we got double Creature Swap, one Rhoda, Dark Hole, Avarice, Reborn, double MST, and two Amazonas Village. I was playing Duality before, but I stopped it because you need the special summons in this deck to do anything. For traps, we have two Bottomless Trap Hole, double Amazonas Archers, two Breakthrough Skill, two Compulses, two Willpower, and one Warning. But I will say this now, the extra deck is completely up to your discretion, because you can do a lot of things with this deck because of the mass special summoning of level 4s. For all intents and purposes, for this build, I play one Crimson Blader, one Colossal Fighter because you play with a lot of warriors, one Jewel Flare Dragon Stardust, a Notorial Barkion, a Beast, and a Driven Daredevil for Synchros. For Exceeds, we have one Gem Knight Pearl, one Heroic Champion Kusanagi, one Utopia, one Blade Armor Ninja, one Popular Operative, one Gandiva, one Excalibur, one Zubaba General, and one Gagaga Gunman. To get to some of the reasons why I only play certain numbers of certain cards, why there's only one Photon Thrasher in here. Photon Thrasher can get stuck in your hand a hell of a lot of the time, so it really helps to cut that down by only playing one. It is rotatable, and it cuts down on the amount of times it will get stuck. It's in here because it's a warrior. It's a very easy level 4 to summon. It's got 2100 attack. Combined with any other Amazonas, you can easily go into any rank 4 you need. And combined with Rose Warrior of Revenge, it turns into any level 8 synchro you need. So yeah, it's a very good balanced card in my opinion. You need triple Paladin because she's going to be the main beater of the deck. She starts at 17 but gains 100 for each Amazonas, including herself. When she summons, she goes to 18, and when you have Village, she goes to 2000, which is really useful first turn. One Rose Warrior, like I said, is your main tuner of the deck. I feel you need triple Swordswoman because this is going to be the main problem for your opponent. If you don't know its effect, it is your opponent takes all battle damage that you would have taken from a battle involving this card. I've had people just sit there because they could not figure out ways to get over this card without taking massive damage. There's a really stupid combo with this card with Alchemy Cycle where you turn it to 0, your opponent takes the damage, and then you draw a card from it. Really situational combo. If you need to look what Alchemy Cycle looks like, it looks like this. But it helps you go +1 at times. And when combined with Village, you can get even dirtier by summoning another Swordswoman. Only one Chainmaster because Chainmaster is incredibly situational. It has to be destroyed by battle to get its effect off. And you could, there is a chance you could pay 1500 life points to get nothing. But when this effect does go off, it's really good. It keeps your opponent from doing a lot of things they would have with monsters in hand. Plus, it's a level 4 warrior, so it kind of helps out a lot. Fighter is going to be your main shield because its effect is you take no battle damage with battles involving this card. Trainee I feel is important, but I don't think you need any more than 2. Because if it had at least 1700 attack like Paladin, this card would be amazing. But it has 1500. This and Paladin are going to be your main attackers. Trainee helps you stop effects that resolve in the graveyard because it immediately bottom decks the card that it destroyed, and it gains 200 attack afterwards. So if it runs over something in a defense position, that monster will be bottom deck 1700. If you have Village out, it will go to 1900, and you can continue to get over things this way with this one card. I play triple Giant Rat because Giant Rat basically searches out everything you need in this deck, minus Paladin and the other extra monsters, but I digress from that. Two Goblinbergs because it makes rank 4 Exceed summoning a lot easier. I saw this on Yu-Gi-Oh! For Real Men's channel, but you can use Goblinberg in conjunction with Rose Warrior of Revenge to go into any level 8 synchro you need. Only play one Tiger because I don't really like Tiger. Blowpiper is in here for the sheer fact I wanted to use Driven Daredevil, and it gives this deck the ability to go into level 5 synchros with Striker. Striker is in here because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a free level 2 tuner you can just special summon out of your hand. Creature swap because it's really dirty to creature swap something like Blowpiper or Chainmaster or even Giant Rat to get your effects off. Amazoness Village is actually a really good card. It you get the effect of Village even if your opponent destroys your Amazoness by battle or by card effect, so it really helps. But it does suck that it does have to go to the graveyard, so if it gets bottomless, you're kind of in trouble. But it does work really well against Torrential. Archers over Lance, because Archers forces all your opponent's monsters to run into your Amazoness, and they lose 500 attack permanently. So if you chain multiple of these in the same turn, your opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack, and they could possibly lose their entire field over it. But yes, it is slower because it is a trap, and yes, you have to control an Amazoness, but it's still a really good play when it gets off. Willpower is your Call of the Haunted for this deck. Yes, you could be playing Call of the Haunted, and actually you can play Call of the Haunted over this card because it gets more, but Willpower is really nice because it grabs the Amazoness out the graveyard. Like, you could Exceed with Excalibur, then activate Willpower to get Paladin back and just keep going in from there. I have been testing this deck for a couple weeks. It is a lot different from the initial version I was playing. I was playing a solid version of this deck first, but that version is a little too slow for this format, well, for last format, and because I built this around the E-Dragon Spellbook format, and it actually did pretty well against some of those decks. Of course it lost, but I think this deck really does have the potential to do something pretty amazing. It all depends on how you build it, and I'm still testing this and completely open to suggestions on how to improve it, because I did consider at one point playing this for the upcoming format. I think it does have a chance of doing something at least. But for other variations of this deck you can play, there is a really cool variation with Emergency Teleport and Psychics you can play that allows you for more ridiculous ass combos. You can also stick copies of Grand Soil in this deck because you do play a lot of earth monsters, and it is really easy to get these into the graveyard incredibly quickly. And Grand Soil is just a free 28 you can just pop out if you need it. If anything, if you do want to play Grand Soil, I would say swap out Blowpiper for this card. But just to show you how much this deck actually costs, and I was actually surprised, it is right here in my Trolling Toad cart. It totals out at about 30 bucks. And that's with me pushing rarities with the super Amazoness Archers. Secret Chainmaster still 20 bucks, so go rare and you get about 50 cents. And this is with Ultra Swordswoman's, which cap out at about 3 bucks. If you get the commons, they're only a quarter. The Starfoil Amazoness Trainees, the rare Villages, the ultra rare creature swaps, and the secret rare Giant Rats with rare Thrashers and ultra rare Rose Warrior Revenges. So yeah, it caps out about 30 bucks. If you want to go as cheap as you can be and common out this deck completely, I think it'll be no more than about 15 to 20 bucks. So yeah, it's really cheap, it's really fun, and I think it has potential to do something. But to go back to the deck, let me know what you guys think about this deck. This is something I've been screwing around with. I'll probably put a couple videos up later with me showing off how this deck actually works. But let me know what you guys think of this deck, and stay black, and I will see you all next time.